Life is hard. Everyone has problems, issues, troubles, challenges. It is how you deal with them that makes or breaks you as a person. A lesson for us all from someone who's making it from Corey Atkins. This is another sunrise. Young love brought these two together downstate nearly 40 years ago.
I could tell that he was a very sincere person, caring, fun, outgoing.
Outgoing and decisive. Dave and Colleen Ryder knew what they wanted, so this couple made a deal, made a plan, raised a family, and built a house.
He was into hunting, and I wanted to have a house full of animals, so that's the agreement we made.
But like any marriage, there was a bump in the road. Theirs was just a little bigger than most. After losing family members to cancer, Dave went in for a physical, and they found he had a very aggressive form of prostate cancer. Dave had surgery and radiation, and the only option doctors offered was hormone therapy, something he didn't want to do because of his diabetes. That was a year ago, and like anyone facing that diagnosis, life changed dramatically.
The day before I got that news a year ago that I had a year and a half to 2 years to live, I felt fine. I was happy, I was upbeat, I was, going to work every day, felt good. And then the next day, as soon as they told me that, I felt like, what's the point of doing anything? I felt insignificant. I felt, I just felt like I couldn't set any goals or anything because there's no point. I didn't have a future.
But tomorrow came, and the next day, Dave continued going through the motions until something shook him and woke him up.
And the sun was coming up as I was leaving for work, and underneath the pine trees I looked to the left, and there was the rays of sun were coming underneath the pine trees, and they were kind of cutting into the fog that was rising from the snow. And I just thought, oh, that's awesome. And I thought, too bad I don't have a camera.
But he did, a point and shoot in his glove box, and this is the image he captured. Then he found his focus with a surprise gift from his daughter.
And just before we were getting ready to leave, she says, hold on, I got something for you. And she walked into the other room, and she came out, and she handed me this camera. On the way home, I noticed that I wasn't thinking about cancer anymore. I was just thinking about my new camera.
The camera brought him back to the place he loved, outside.
I just decided that I had a choice, that I could keep being negative and have these negative thoughts and everything, or I could take this camera and make the most of it. And that's what I decided to do. I decided that I was going to do everything I could to become the world's greatest nature photographer.
Dave jumped in feet first, and it took a while for him to find his eye, but he discovered it on a camping trip in Paradise.
All of a sudden, I saw a beam of the sun, a ray of light, come through the trees, and it hit right in front of me on a leaf in the ground. And I just thought that was so awesome.
Today, there's snapshot after snapshot of where Dave finds beauty and meaning in northern Michigan. And he's put them into a book he calls Another Sunrise. It's a book he wants to use to inspire other people who may feel insignificant like he once did.
This kind of is a metaphor for how I look at life right now. You focus on one thing. I focused on this tree, but in front of the tree, which represents the future, and behind the tree, which represents the past, they're all blurred. There's no need to focus on those.
I think it keeps him motivated. We got this snowstorm, and I was out here working, and I see him tromping through the snow with his camera, and I thought he's out looking for something.
But in reality, he's already found it. Together, these two found each other, found their home, found despair, then hope, and now peace. All with the help of some reflected light, a lens, and a memory card.
Yesterday's gone and tomorrow's not promised. So, if you live in the moment, you can be happy if you want to, no matter how short somebody tells you life's going to be. As long as you can get up in the morning and you can see, the sunrise, and you can smell the fresh air, that, things can be good if you let them.
If you are interested in buying Dave's book, we have a link to it on 9and10news.com.